Hey guys, today I'm filming my update for my summer project pan, and it actually has been, I want to say a month, maybe actually a little bit less since my last update, but I've got some good progress. I wanted to go ahead and share it with you. We have two empties, which is awesome, and they are the two products that I told you guys I thought would be finished. And first is the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Powder and Sugar Cookie. I was like down here or something, so I only had a little bit of this left. This is a great translucent loose powder, and as you guys can see, I did take the little sifter out, which was not that challenging. Was because I waited till it got down so far and then I was able to get all the little bits from it. But I hate this packaging. I would love for her to update it to just be, you know, a regular sifter, because this net is just not easy to get product out. But anyway, the weights on this went from 2.891 ounces to 2.830, and this is something that I thought was good, but I didn't realize how much I liked it until I had moved on to my replacement, and it was just looking and feeling a little bit thicker and heavier on my face. And this is just so lightweight, sets the makeup really nicely. I would like it to be like a little bit more oil controlling, but I do think that this is really great, and I would be interested in trying this in some other shades. But this is a great translucent powder that doesn't give me like too much flashback. I think that my Dermablend powder leaves my skin looking a little bit lighter, whiter, brighter than this one does. So definitely something that I would love to get again once I work through some more things. And then I did finish my Kaja gloss shot in Pink Drink, and again this has 3/4 the amount of product as a full size, and my markings rubbed off, but I was down here because I had started working on this in my spring project. But you can see all used up. I really did enjoy this formula and this color. It was really nice and smooth. There was a little bit of stickiness, but not bad. Gave great shine, a really nice like light medium opacity. It was a beautiful like warm and neutral pink. And the weights on this went from 0.756 to 0.730. I did weigh it with the stopper. Oh, I forgot to mention, I have 84 total uses on this. I'll have to put the breakdown on the screen of where I was at my intro so we can see how many times I actually used it in this project. But 84 uses to finish that up. So now to show you the progress and everything else, I'm gonna be a little bit rambling today while I explain basically like how the routine worked and how these items work together. So first, I'm not able to make a new marking. There's just a lot of air in here. Now maybe I can be kind of safe to say that I am between the M and the I. Yeah. All right, I'll have to remember to mark it after this, that I'm, you know, approximately there. So that feels great. I've really been loving this primer a lot. I do have a backup of this, and I do think that this is working out quite nicely for me. It's working with this foundation combo perfectly in all of my skincare. So this started at 1.425 ounces, and now I'm at 1.130. Now for foundation, I have the Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation in Swan. This is the oldest foundation in my collection. I started out up here, now I'm down here. I am using 1.5 pumps of this product. It's a really amazing formula. I absolutely love it, but this does have a matte finish and more of a medium coverage. And after I had set my skin with the Huda powder, I noticed that it was looking a little bit light for me. But before I give you the story, let me give you the weights. So the weights went from 2.518 to 2.340. So for the past week and a half or so, I have been mixing it with my Drunk Elephant Debronzy drops, which is awesome because I really would love to finish these this year, and they're feeling quite light. So I'll give you the updates on this in my year-long project pan update that's coming. And then I had also, the powder I had moved on to was the Makeup Forever HD Skin Setting Powder, Undetectable Shine Control Setting Powder in 1.1 Light Vanilla, which is something that I had put in my year-long project. And the color of this is working really great with that combination, but it's just feeling a little bit heavy on my skin. So then today I set my makeup on my face with the Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Soft Blur Powder in 2 Neutral Light. And I did use the Drunk Elephant drops. I did use a little bit less, but I'm wondering what you guys think of the complexion match. I did use maybe a little bit too much bronzer today, so I'm gonna play with this combo a little bit more to see what works best for me. I would love it if this combination would work, because I think I could finish this powder this year, where the Makeup Forever might have a little too much product. And I really don't want to sacrifice the usage on this, because this is older in my collection. It's close to being done. So if color-wise I had to make this combo work, I would, but I would prefer to use this. So I'll update you guys more on my year-long project, but I just wanted to talk about it today too. So that's kind of the combination that I've been doing, but the foundation has been consistent. I have still been using a pump and a half of this. It's just the other products that have been changing up. But then for my concealer, because this is that matte finish, more medium coverage, I feel like the scarring and pigmentation on my cheeks is still showing through, and then I do usually have a little bit of redness on my chin and the tip of my nose, so I have been going in with my Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Flawless Wear Concealer and one in Light Neutral to add more coverage to those areas. It's working perfectly. I love this so much. I'm really sad that they revamped not only the packaging, but the formula is totally different, and that makes me sad, but I have a backup. This is just my blemish concealer, so it usually lasts me over a year, and I've had this one for a while, so I would love to be able to finish it up this year. And this is approximately the progress that I've made, so I feel really good about that. And the weights went from 0.660 ounces to 0.642. Then for my under eyes, I'm using the Tower 28 Swipe Up Serum Concealer in BU. And you can definitely see through the packaging in various places. And when I pull it out, I feel like I have less product on the applicator than I did before. And when I look in the packaging, I mean, it really is looking like just at the bottom and coating the sides. So I don't know that this will be finished by the end of this project, but that's okay. I'm really loving this. And I think in my intro, I said I wasn't going to use this to brighten my face. I am, and it works fine. So I am using this down the center of my face and under my eyes. I'm so impressed with how long it's taking me to get through this. I think that the coverage is amazing and very beautiful, like formula. I love this. Definitely my top 3 concealers. So the weights went from 1.297 to 1.274. Then for setting my under eyes, I have been absolutely loving this. The Allure Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder in Rose. This is the Tone Up line, and this is a great peachy pink. And I think it's very flattering and brightening. It looks really smooth under the eye and nice and matte, but not in a dry way. So this is gonna be here a long time, but I think that the color is gonna work well for me for my under eyes in fall also. And the weights on this went from 3.750 to 3.676. I know that's gonna be slow going. Then for my cream cheek product, so I think the day that I filmed my intro, I decided that I was going to bring in this cream bronzer. I wasn't sure what I would think about it, and I said, you know, I'll let you know my update if I want to keep panning it or not. And da-da-da-da, look at that major pan. On my intro, I just had a dip, and now I have all this pan, which is so exciting. Makes me feel very motivated to keep going and knock it out. I don't think it will be by the end of this project, but I think I can finish this in fall. So that makes me feel really good. Oh, so much amazing progress there. And I know that these are not that hard to get through, but again, working through a cream cheek product is absolutely amazing. So the weight started at 1.449 ounces and now it is 1.407. I'm applying it with a BK Beauty brush. I meant to bring it in here, I forgot. But I'm absolutely loving that brush. It just is picking it up perfectly. And again, I was having trouble with this color on me. So what I've been doing now is I am applying this underneath my foundation to my cheekbones and then up here on my temples. And then when I put it on my forehead, I'm putting it like right here. I'm not bringing it all the way up into my hairline, and that seems to be working a little bit better. And then after I put my foundation on, I am retouching the bronzer just in the cheekbones and up on the temples. I'm not bringing it on my forehead on top of the foundation. So that seems like that combination is working really well for me right now, which makes me very happy. Then I have my Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Dewy Flush in Watermelon Flush. So this is the liquid blush that I have been using. And I have not been doing a good job of tracking the uses because I think I had used it 5 times before last update, and I've probably used it like 8 times since then. And the applicator is just not getting product out easily. I know there's still a ton in there, but I am dipping so many times and putting this on the back of my hand. So now that I've shown it to you, I am going to pull the stopper out, which I know is going to make such a mess, but it's going to make it so much easier to use because this formula does soak up into my sponge pretty easily. I do feel like I need to put a lot of product on the back of my hand and work from there, and I do feel like that this has been working better for me since I've decided to put foundation on, this on with a sponge, and then apply my under eye concealer and just be very careful to blend it out. I think that is working well enough for me to put in the effort to continue using this. So the weights went from 0.883 ounces to 0.862. So I can't see through the packaging on the side or really down in there, but I need to remove the stopper to make it easier to use. And for eyes, for my shadow stick, I told you guys that I was kind of back and forth between whether I wanted to use my little concoction or if I wanted to focus on this Bobbi Brown cream shadow stick in golden bronze. And I decided this because I wanted to add the base of this to that mixture. Well, I will have to, you know, show on the screen if there is any paper progress. I mean, I think that there must be a teensy bit. Still so much of this left because when I was using it, like I used it today, it is just too dark of a base for the eyeshadows that I'm using, and it's just, you know, darkening up the color of my eyeshadow. So actually a lot of this month I pulled for the Laura Mercier Caviar Stick in Nude Rose, which, you know, happy to get some use on something else. But, you know, there's still so much of this left, and I'm not necessarily wanting to move on to this or anything. But after this, tomorrow, I'm going to film my year-long project update, and I'm going to show you this. And then after that, I am just going to move on to that mixture. I really hope it's going to work out. And I actually don't know if I'm going to mix this in because I don't want it to defeat the purpose. So I think I'm going to use what I have left of metallic taupe in the base. I'm going to use, I have like 2 little nubbies from a Half Magic shadow stick and a Too Faced one. Like the tip broke off and I saved them, and those are lighter shades. I'm going to mix all of those in, and then I need to see what that looks like, and then add in just a little bit of amethyst at a time to make sure I'm not going to get it too dark. But I think that this is something as a whole, I'm just going to save it for fall. So I am going to film that process for you guys of that mixture. So I'm excited to see how that turns out, and hopefully I can film it correctly. But I just want to let you know, barely in progress on this. I've been using this most of the time. Then we have my lip products. So in the car, I've been using the Dior Lip Glow oil in pink. However, I did not use this as much as I would have liked because I was really focusing on my Jack Black lip balm because I was so close to finishing it up. So I have now a total of 20 uses on this, which is not fantastic. And I probably used it only like 2 or 3 times before bringing it into the project. Next, I can't wait to show you guys the paper progress of this. This is the Natasha Denona I Need a Rose lip crayon in Daphne, and look how little is left. This is crazy. Now, I will tell you that for some reason, twice the tip broke off when it was like this much. So one time it just literally detached, fell off, and then another time I lost it in the sharpener. So that's why there is more progress here. But now I have sharpened halfway through the N in Natasha Denona, and on the back it is right before the I in I Need a Rose. So I feel great about that, and I think that I should be able to finish this towards the beginning of fall, which would be great because I do still have a little bit of a ColourPop lip liner from last year I want to finish as well. So I'm feeling so hopeful about this. And again, I can't wait to show you that paper progress. And I do sharpen my lip liner as little as possible. I literally wait until it's scratching my lips so that I'm not being wasteful, which I know nobody cares but me. So the weights on this went from 0.222 ounces to 0.189, which is pretty significant for a pencil this small, because I know with my shadow stick, barely any weight difference there. So my total usage on this, and again, I will have to put on the screen where I was at the intro. I have 109 total uses on this so far, and I may have missed a couple uses for these lip products, but I'm feeling so good about this, and it is working really nice with my other lip products. And I really wanted to show you this because I feel like I might, you know, be getting through this quickly. So what I decided to move on to out of these two lippies is I am going to just focus on knocking out this brighter Buxom lip gloss, and then I'll move on to this. So this is the little mini of the lip polish in Ryan, a gorgeous pinky coral, and that is how much progress I made approximately. It's not totally settled. I thought it would in my purse because I had it upright, but I guess not good enough. So I have used this 27 times. I'm hoping that I can finish this in the next 2 weeks or so, and then I will move on to the Fenty, but very happy with this progress, and the color is so pretty. And I will say though that panning a Buxom gloss again just is making me consider decluttering some of my Buxom glosses. They've always been one of my favorite brands, but I feel like I just have formulas I like a little bit more because this one is sticky. So it doesn't fade as quickly, so I don't need to reapply as often. And oh my gosh, literally, why am I just now noticing that I have no lip product on? I have no lip product on, and I think that's because I don't film with my glasses on or contacts. So like if you ever notice I have a hair out of place or like something on my face and I don't notice it, that's why. I cannot believe I didn't have a lip product on the whole video. And the weights on this went from 0.782 ounces to 0.761. Well, now let me add another use here, but the other lippy that I have in here is the Fenty Gloss Bomb Cream in Fenty Glow, and the weights on this went from 1.268 ounces to 1.266, and I've only used this one 3 times. So guys, that was my very long-winded summer project pan update, and I'm really curious to see what sort of foundation powder concoction is going to work best for me. But as far as this project goes and the items in here, I'm really happy with the progress that I'm making. I think there are a lot of things that are not going to be finished, but I do have really high hopes that they will be finished in fall. I have project pan updates going up before and after this one, so I would appreciate any love on those videos. I would love to know what project pans you're doing right now, what items you're working on, and I want to thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.